Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a slightly delayed Halloween beer. Yeah, it's a couple of weeks past Halloween actually, but I don't know if I put the video out yet or not, because I know it's not gone out at the time of recording, but anyway, I had another beer drop intended for my big Halloween live event thing, and it didn't turn up in time. No fault of the store, I believe. I think it was a bit of shenanigans on the part of the delivery company, but anyway, it turned up a day late, and obviously this was meant for that, but we'll review it anyway. It's from Elusive Brewing, and it's called CARVE'N YAMS, which kind of makes sense. Pumpkin carving and yams are a food typically eaten in the Americas around this time of year, or maybe all year, I'm not really sure. But hey, we've got it, and I happen to have a little bit of kind of inside info on this. I don't know if it will say on the back of the can, but I believe that name is actually an anagram of a pub somewhere in the West Midlands, which we'll go into in a bit if it gives us any more detail. But it's a pumpkin coffee porter at 5.2%. I had quite a lot of pumpkin themed stuff on that night. It's been a few weeks now, so I'm ready for a bit more. So before we break into it, here is a quick look at the can. Undeniably great artwork on there. Got some kind of 8-bit bats and pumpkins going on. Right then, let's get it open. So a bit of sediment did roll into the glass just then. So looking at this in the light, it's actually quite pale for a porter. I mean, it's dark, don't get me wrong, but it's murky, it's more dark brown. It's not kind of deep red or slightly light black, if you like. This is definitely sitting a bit more in the kind of dark, best, mild territory, I guess. I don't know if it'll pick up on camera at all or not. But yeah, very much a deep brown. The head is, I mean, there wasn't one really, let's be honest, it has vanished. But porters often are there. It doesn't seem particularly carbonated, so that may explain it. Let's get into the aromas. Deep on the coffee front, there's a sweetness, got a pumpkin spice element. I'm not sure I'm really getting a whole deal of real pumpkin on the nose. You know, that cinnamon, winter spices blend, Christmas spices, you know the bag. Doesn't smell like it's going to be especially bitter, but there's definitely a giveaway of some serious dark malts in there. So let's get into it. Cheers. That has got coffee all over it. Now, I know it's meant to be a pumpkin coffee porter. That's very coffee forward. I think without the word pumpkin on the can, possibly have said that that was kind of a festive coffee porter, Christmas coffee porter, rather than dedicatedly pumpkin, but no, it's developing a bit on the nose now as well. Now it's been open a while. There's a little bit of that kind of sweet, earthy, pumpkin, fleshy vibe coming through, but it is subtle, it's fair to say, it is subtle. It's not very carbonated. I don't want to say that this is bland, because it's not. It does have heaps of flavour. It's just, it's got quite a loose mouthfeel. The texture's, yeah, I mean, you can see it sloshing around in the glass there. It's not thick at all. And it has flavour, but it's a bit one-sided, and it doesn't leave you with heaps of an aftertaste, which is kind of, I'm not going to say what I was hoping for, but it's what I expect out of this style. On the flip side though, it's quite light and refreshing. If you want a non-heavy but interesting beer that's not got too much gas to it, well, you're probably onto a winner. I just expected something a little bit more decadent, a little bit more uplifted. Right then, quick top to bottom taste test, and hopefully you'll be able to understand what I'm talking about. So, initially, mildly sweet and mildly bitter on the front of the tongue. Basically no carbonation to talk about. That second phase, quite a lot of drops off. There's hints of the coffee in there, not much maltiness, not much roastiness, not much pumpkin, to be honest. It's just a bit sweet and a bit, I don't know, it so quickly fades away that it feels like maybe there's less to it than there actually is. as it carries on through the swallow and as it gets to the back of the mouth, that's when you really start to pick up on stuff. As it sloshes down the back of your mouth and as you swallow it, the coffee kicks in. It's kind of black coffee, but really mild black coffee, if you like. It's not sweet, milky, latte, whatever. It's black coffee, but in a real inoffensive way. It's probably the way I describe it. And then initially the aftertaste is all those spice flavours, a little bit of that fleshy pumpkin, you know, the cinnamon, de facto Halloween pumpkin latte spice mix. A little bit all of it. Again, not huge though, really quite mild. I mean, you can see I'm getting through it very quickly because it's really easy to drink. And then the long-term aftertaste, not a lot. Really not a great deal. Tiny bit of coffee, that's all. Right. I don't want to say I don't dislike this. I don't want to say it's bad. It's just not especially outstanding in any area, if that makes sense. It's quite I don't like having to say something negative about the first beer I have from a brewery. I've never tried anything from Elusive Brewing before, so I don't know how this fares against their other ones, but just lacking a little, but also not offensive in any way whatsoever. Right, let's take a look at the can. So as I said before, Elusive Brewing CARVE'N YAMS Pumpkin Coffee Porter at 5.2%. It says, Elusive Brewing creates beers with one eye on tradition and another eye on taking things to the next level. Insert coin to play. Nice little reference with the video, old school video game kind of graphics on the front. It says, CARVE'N YAMS is a sweet coffee porter to which we've added pumpkin and pumpkin pie spices to create a spooky seasonal beer. Expect fresh, bright coffee flavours from a single origin Hasbean coffee laid with all of those delicious flavours you love in a pumpkin pie. Pumpkin beer isn't just for Halloween. Good job, because I'm drinking it later. Ingredients are water, barley, pumpkin, coffee, cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, clove, hops and yeast. I think this is almost exactly what they set out to make. And I'll tell you what, I think they probably achieved what they wanted before they put it in a can. Because when you can a beer, as I've learnt recently from talking to some breweries, it's very difficult to get the flavours that you experience on keg or in a bottle through the canning process because the filtration is so much more severe. And I suspect that is the issue. I really like it. If this was all just amped up, I'd probably be raving about it because it's low carbonation, which I love. It's a porter, which I love. And I like that pumpkin spice mix. I always said I'm not keen on coffee stouts, but this is low-key, fresh, bright coffee, not dull, heavy espresso, which is what I'm really not keen on in coffee. I like it in real life, by the way, but just in beer it doesn't do it for me. But in this, everything feels like it's there and balanced in the right measure, but that measure has been watered down somehow, which is a real shame. I'm going to finish the rest of this and come back to it just in case something weird and wonderful happens in the last few dregs, but I'd be really interested to know if you can get this on keg or cask anywhere, because I suspect it has the opportunity for greatness and it just shores for it in a can, which is a real shame. Getting down to the dregs now, the coffee's maybe a little bit more, but otherwise it's not really changed a great deal. So I think we're going to have to leave it there. Elusive Brewing, I'd love to try some more of your stuff because I don't hate the concept. In fact, I love the concept. It's just, for some reason, this one in this can, even the colour, everything screams it's just gone a bit light and I don't really know why. But anyway, otherwise, it's a tentative thumbs up. So as always, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. If you haven't already, subscribe if you will be so kind, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.